States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to bring the order for the Township Board of Trustee meeting for February 26, 2020. Good evening, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending this meeting. Is there any questions or corrections to the February 12th, 2020 minutes?
I have none. I have none.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I promise it won't be a long night. I move that the board approve.
All those in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
I move that the board approve the February 12th, 2020 regular meeting. Aye.
Aye.
Just go. All in favor?
Who did that?
Taking my star
Aye.
off. Okay, Jason. Updates for the sheriff's office.
I apologize, evidently our network was a little crazy today, so I don't have the total members of what I usually have, but I did go through our CAD reporting system and kind of pulled some of the stuff that I typically give. So there was one burglary on Beacon Hill, February 19th, 11 total thefts, 4 motor vehicle thefts, Powder Mill on the 24th, Oxley on the 20th, West Broad on the 20th, and West Broad on the 19th. There was one charge involving narcotics, and that was West Broad also on the 19th. Nothing as far as trends is really sticking out, both here and in some of the surrounding townships. Within the past 2 weeks, there's been a couple instances of suspicious vehicles around buses, and not just one instance. I mean, specifically in Brown Township, this individual was pretty persistent over the course of days, being at the same place, same time around kids. And then we also had, an incident, out in Lake Darby. So, I'll be getting around, and I sent out an email to all of our patrol just so all of our guys are really visible in the area around bus stops.
Anybody have any questions? Go ahead.
You mentioned an incident at Lake Darby. Could you elaborate?
There was an individual who has a criminal history that engaged in conversation with a 14-year-old, that obviously warranted our, attention. So, we do know who he is. We've identified him. So, it's one of those instances where nothing happened, but obviously we're aware of it and we're gonna keep an eye on it. Yes, sir.
I'd like to add something to that. So I called Jason and I met with him this afternoon. There's been a couple more accidents on Beacon Hill in our so-called roundabouts. And so I asked him if he would get me some statistics and report on how many accidents have we had. I think the guys might have done this before me, but from Buena Vista down to Rome Hilliard Road. And he got that back to me. So he has emailed it to me, but I haven't had time to look at it. So I'll report that. You probably haven't had time to even look at it.
No,
either.
I looked at it really briefly.
So I don't know what it says at this time, how many in the last 2 years, and what the dates are, and how close, and I appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll report that back to you guys.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Fiscal Officer report, Dan?
Thank you. I have just one item on tonight's agenda. This week's warrant list includes payments to 66 vendors totaling $174,511.28. The single largest payment comprises more than 50% of that total, and it's payable to the Franklin County Commissioners in the amount of $94,972.44 for the township's health and dental insurance plan. I formally request the board's approval to pay all items on this week's warrants list totaling $174,511.28 along with yesterday's February 25 payroll, which required $227,445.78 for a total cash disbursement of $401,957.06.
I'm fine.
I'm fine. So-
Motion approved.
We'll get through this, guys.
Make a motion.
Motion to approve,
Second.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
I'll get it, Dan. I said aye for you.
Yeah.
So, we're done. So, does anybody have any questions for Dan?
Yes.
I didn't do this last meeting, I forgot it, but I want to thank you for getting me that December information.
You're welcome.
Also, I do have a question.
Okay.
The township does a biannual, budget, correct?
We do an annual budget.
You do it annually?
Yes, we do.
Okay, when will you be doing the 2021?
That'll be, that will be
July.
available after June 30th. Typically, we have a public hearing during the first meeting in July.
Okay, but there's no discussion prior to that or whatever?
That's, it's made available to the public effectively June 30th. For those, we'll have a copy in the fiscal officer's office, and there's an announcement made, I think we even probably put an ad out in the paper for it, that it's announcing it's available. And for those who want to stop by and take a look at it, it's there. And we have a public, open, it's not a special meeting, but we dedicate the beginning of that next meeting for public comments regarding
Okay, so
the contents.
the budget has not, the budget at that period in time had not been approved?
Well, that would be, when we have that, that would be for 2021.
Right.
And that's the first of three stages.
Our
actually.
budget year is the calendar year. It's not like the state where they start July 1. We're January 1 to December 31st.
But my question is, there is no period of time for public comment or discussion?
Yeah,
of
that's
what's in the budget?
that's the hearing that he mentioned.
Okay.
So the budget is created, there's a public hearing at the trustee meeting, and then you have the opportunity, anyone from the public can ask questions, comment on anything in there, and then the trustees approve the budget, and then in the fall, we do temporary appropriations for starting in January 1.
Right.
And coming up here, I don't know if it's the next meeting or the following meeting, we'll be approving permanent appropriations. So the budget itself essentially gets 3 renditions until you have your permanent appropriations, which occur in the first quarter of the year that you're actually in. So you have a budget, then temporary appropriations in the fall, and then you have your actual permanent appropriations, as it's called. And that's what will be coming up here next, for the year that we're currently in.
But
So Joe, was you meaning like before we, like maybe a couple weeks prior to that, you wanted to know if you could ask questions or about the budget, and have we considered something?
correct.
Okay, I think that's, no,
And
we
that
don't.
would, that would occur at that hearing.
But you can note it to us anytime you want.
Okay.
And we can note it and then take it in consideration as we're doing it. Go ahead, Sherry.
So, and maybe I just don't remember right, but I don't even think we had the budget to be able to look at it, to ask questions at that time in June.
It was available at June 30th.
Yeah. I remember having the document in here at that meeting, because it, it's,
But maybe,
But we don't-
maybe the residents didn't know at that time that they could speak upon
Exactly.
that,
Yes.
on that.
yes, and you can stop in anytime. Once it's completed, you can stop in anytime and look at it. You know, if you want to review the document, it's available.
So I guess let's just note that in the future, anytime anybody has any questions, give them to us.
Yeah, and going forward, it'll be more transparent.
Okay. Okay, any more questions? Okay. Michael, Community Center?
Yeah.
Oh.
Next.
I'm sorry.
Switch it up today.
Good evening. Couple items tonight. First off, I'm recommending that the board approve the hiring of Christian Williams to fill the vacant front desk coordinator position with a starting rate of $19.23 per hour. Mr. Williams was interviewed by myself, Randy, and Courtney, our operations manager at the community center, and we were all in agreement that Christian would be a great asset to the community center. He has a strong background in parks and recreation, customer service, and has worked with our website, specifically the Civic Plus website, which is a bonus, social media marketing. He's relocating from North Carolina, so the start date hasn't been determined yet. We're gonna probably look at about 3 or 4 weeks. We just have to move in here and get him in place.
I'm good.
I move the board approve hiring Christian Williams as a front desk coordinator at the community center with a starting rate of $19.23 per hour.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Second items are a couple.
Aye.
Second items that I have are a couple donation requests. I'm asking the board to approve a request for a donation of a birthday party package for the Alden Darby Elementary School's annual Family Fun Day silent auction. The money raised at this event helps fund activities, field trips, outdoor equipment, and education materials. And on the second one, we also received a request from Westland High School for a donation for the annual Lava auction. I'm asking the board to approve the donation of a family membership to Westland High School to be added to their auction basket, and the auction will take place on March 14th at the Hollywood Casino.
Sorry, guys, I don't have this paper in my packet. I move the board approve donating a birthday party package to Alton Darby Elementary School and a family membership to Westland High School.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And the other item, Matt McCallum, our recreation supervisor at the community center, applied for a grant from the Ohio Parks and Recreation Association Foundation for programming at the community center. The community center was awarded this grant in the amount of $2,200, which will be used for a youth Build-A-Bike program.
I move the board approve accepting a grant from Ohio Parks and Recreation Foundation in the amount of $2,200 to be used for a youth Build-A-Bike program.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And lastly, I'm asking the board to approve Resolution 820, which authorizes the community center to enter into contracts with various contractors. The contractors are listed below for services at the community center. The first one, Trustee Higley, is our nutrition instructor. Her effective date is March 4th to December 31st, and it's $100 per workshop. Tom Sang is our DJ for our mother-son dance. It's March 13th. He'll be providing that service, and that's $200. And then Yehi Karama for youth sports, it's our basketball program will be starting in March, so March 3rd to December 31st, and it's $11 per hour.
Good.
I'm good. I move that the board adopt resolution 8-20, a resolution authorizing personal service contracts for the contractors in the recreation department.
Second.
Roll call votes. Mr. Stormont?
Aye.
Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Mrs. Schmelzer?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions for Michael?
Now, did you only approve one donation or both of them?
One motion.
Okay, one motion. Perfect.
Okay. Thank you, Michael. Chief, you are up now.
Evening, everybody.
First on the agenda, I'd like to ask the board's permission to enter an agreement with Stryker, which is our vendor that provides cardiac monitors. This agreement will be for us to be the clearinghouse for 14 monitors distributed to our mutual aid companies that are participating in our cardiac arrest protocol studies. It's just one department needed to have the agreement to be the clearinghouse, so they asked us if we would do it. So there's 14 monitors sitting at our firehouse right now, and once the agreement is good, it'll go out to those agencies that also need them, and we won't have any financial responsibility for all the monitors. We'll only be responsible for the ones that come to us. So like permission to enter into that agreement with them.
I'm fine.
I move that the board approve entering into an agreement with Stryker?
It's Stryker.
Stryker for distribution of new cardiac monitors and authorize the fire chief to execute this agreement.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next, like to ask for the board's approval to discard 13 old unserviceable mattresses, 5 box springs, and 5 bed frames.
I move that the board approve disposal of 13 mattresses, 5 box springs, and 5 bed frames and remove from the fire department inventory.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I'd like to ask the board to accept the resignation of 2 part-time firefighters, Nicholas Leadheiser and Ryan Will. Both of them have been great employees, but they have other obligations in full-time positions, and so they've resigned. We really appreciate their service.
I move that the board accept the resignation of part-time firefighter Nicholas Leiterheiser and Ryan Will effective February 20th, 2020.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And last, I'd just like to announce to the board, I think I mentioned this in the past, and I've talked a lot about, I've asked for agreements and things for our new cardiac arrest protocol. We were ready to implement that on March 1st. We're gonna hold off on that for a while per our medical director. This is a very cutting edge process. It's very different than what we normally would do. The layperson on the street might not have any idea or even recognize that it's different, but it's being used in other parts of the country, and it is certainly saving lives. It is exponentially increasing the survival rate of cardiac arrests. So we hopefully will have that implemented on the street sometime soon. Our crews and about 6 other departments have been working very hard over the last probably 4 or 5 months training on this. So hopefully we'll get we're just waiting on the final last go-ahead from our medical director, and we'll have it out on the street working. It's gonna be a great thing.
Could you give a brief explanation of what the protocol is?
Sure. So one of the things would be that we'll do CPR with the patient elevated 30 degrees. The reason for that is to decrease intracranial pressure, which in the long run helps alleviate neuromuscular or not neuromuscular issues with too much pressure on the brain in the long term. That would just be one example. Another example would be that we will go to mechanical CPR as quickly as possible, and it will be continuous mechanical CPR. That's a change from our protocol now. As an example, the place that first started doing this, Rialto, California, they go to mechanical CPR, and they have 4 reasons that they stop that for a total of 13 seconds. That's it. The rest of the time is continuous CPR. That's a change for us. In the past, in cardiac arrest, our thought was we need to get out of the house. We need to go to the hospital. We need to go to the hospital right now as quickly as possible. Now we have established benchmarks, and we will not leave the scene until we meet those benchmarks, because we found that by meeting those benchmarks as quickly as possible is a better outcome for the patient in the long run. So all of these things, there's studies that are out there that show that they work. The problem is that it's against a lot of the things that we've been doing for many, many years, so people are questioning it. So, we're just waiting for that final okay from our doctor, and we're ready to go with it.
Any more questions?
Yes, sir.
You mentioned elevating the patient by 30 degrees,
Mhm.
correct?
Mhm.
Do you have a piece of equipment in
have wedges, literally, a foam wedge. Yeah, we found a device that will do that for us, is about $6,000. We bought the wedges online, I think we, if I remember right, we paid like $58 for 2 of them. So, we may ruin them on the first arrest, we'll buy another one. So, yeah. Anybody else? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Roads and zoning, were represented by Rob. David and Connie were both excused from tonight's meeting.
Good evening. First item is the purchase of a mini excavator. I'd like to ask the board to approve the purchase of a Cabelco SK55 SRX 6E with rubber tracks from the Southeastern Equipment for $61,049.30. I'd also like the approval to trade in our 2015 Case CX55B Tier 4 compact excavator for a trade-in value of $34,500. The trade difference would be $26,549.30. This would continue a program of trading trucks and equipment while they still have substantial value and keep our maintenance costs down. I'd like to also ask the board to authorize the service director to sign all necessary documents for this purchase.
I move that the board approve trading in a 2015 Case CX55B compact excavator and purchase of a Cabelco SK55 SRX-6E at a cost of $26,549.30, including the trade.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I do have one item under commercial building and zoning. I would like to request permission to post a second part-time position in the zoning department.
Okay.
I'm fine. Say so moved.
So moved.
Second.
Oh, I keep waiting for you to say it for me.
All those in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
I said aye.
Okay, next item on our agenda is our nuisance cases. I'd like to ask the board's guidance on the nuisance cases that were forwarded in advance of the meeting.
Has anybody got any questions to take back to road and zoning first? Okay. Is anybody here to speak on nuisance cases? Okay. We had 8 nuisances, and we're gonna declare 4. Everybody okay with that? Okay, good. I move that the board adopt resolution NU-28-20, a resolution declaring nuisance in order and abatement at 39 Evergreen Terrace.
Second.
Roll call votes. Mr. Stormont?
Aye.
Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Mrs. Schmelzer?
Aye.
Thank you.
I move that the board adopt resolution NU-29-20, a resolution declaring nuisance in order and abatement at 124 Evergreen Terrace.
Second.
Roll call votes. Mr. Stormont?
Aye.
Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Mrs. Schmelzer?
Aye.
Thank you.
I move that the board adopt resolution NU-30-20, a resolution declaring nuisance in order of abatement at 156 Evergreen Terrace.
Second.
Roll call votes. Mr. Stormont?
Aye.
Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Mrs. Schmelzer?
Aye.
Thank you.
I move that the board adopt resolution NU-32-20, a resolution declaring nuisance in order of abatement at 4982 Solomon Avenue.
Second.
Roll call votes. Mr. Stormont?
Aye.
Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Mrs. Schmelzer?
Aye. Thank you.
One additional item underneath administration, I'd like to request permission to post a part-time administrative assistant position in the administration office.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, that's all I have under administration. But I do have one more item for old business, so I'm just
Go
waiting
ahead.
here. Okay, old business, if you recall at the last meeting, we discussed the brochure, or I'm sorry, the newsletter. And we had a lot of questions and concerns about the distribution of the newsletter and the places it was not getting. I had talked with Kathy quite a bit about the distribution of the newsletter. And something that I wasn't aware of, and we talked about the bag, it had come up during the discussion. And what Doug had shared with me is that if you get the Columbus Dispatch Sunday paper, the Sunday edition, you do not get the bag because the things that go in the bag are already included in the Sunday edition. So I don't know if that was some of the distribution hiccups or issues, people not thinking they got it or got the bag. And he provided a new kind of distribution and delivery map showing that. So I don't know if that changes anything, or if we wanna, give them the opportunity to do it one time and see how it works out. If we do go with the messenger, they will be printing us extras to have here, or we can go with the newsletter just as it has been done in the past. I'm fine either way. I just wanted to share that I did get some additional information that I didn't have at the last meeting.
Go ahead,
I can say from my experience, West Point subdivision doesn't get the West Side Messenger delivered.
Okay.
So they get-
Whether you get the Sunday paper or not.
I think,
Okay.
and you get the back, do you get the Hilliard?
We get the Hilliard Northwest.
Right.
Okay.
So I'd like to get your guys' opinion on who would like to see still in the mail first,
But in the mail,
in the mail,
The newsletter.
the newsletter.
It comes, we do one in the spring and one in the fall. It comes in the mail.
that way you know people get it.
Okay, and then who would like to see it in the newspaper come, so you can take it out, read it in the newspaper and keep that? Okay.
We will continue to mail it if that is.
Steve?
Any control on weekly distribution of the bag?
I'm sorry, John. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Any regulation or does the township have any control over how the bag is distributed?
No, we do
I
not.
don't think so.
No, that's coming directly from the provider. We don't control that in any way.
Yeah, but the providers are paying, and where do you find the bag? I know how they do it. I watch this woman, this boy out there, it might be on the sidewalk, it might be in the driveway, it might be in the front lawn. And if it rains or anything, it gets wet.
So it, obviously, last meeting, it saves us considerably amount of money if we put it in the paper. However, me talking to people, I don't know if these, I just know that I did, that no, everyone else wanted it in the mail. Everybody gets their mail,
Yeah,
so,
well, at one time, I'll tell you where it was distributed. I know it's for me, on the front stoop, right in front of the door, that's where it used to be, way back. It's been a long time ago. I've called them in the last couple of years, telling them why it's, how come and where it's distributed. Oh, we'll get to you, but they don't do a dang thing. Nothing has changed in the last 10 years, I can tell you that.
I don't even think I've asked, Michael, do you send your newsletter out? Do you mail it out, or is that just on
Yeah, just on our
website?
website, on the email. So, but yeah, no print.
Do you know, have we ever gotten this is before, I was here, have we ever gotten a price where we take his and insert it in ours, and then when they just tape it over a little bit to mail that out? I know it's a little bit.
Are you talking about
His
the
newsletter?
guide,
With the quarterly brochure.
Yeah, so if you took,
the
had
program
one-
guide?
Yes,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, okay.
If you had taken his and then you insert it also, I'd like to
As
have
far
a
as the
price.
postage cost?
Yes, find out if that's another 1
Okay.
cent, 2 cent.
Yeah, I think, is yours, would it be 4 pages? So we'd essentially be doubling the,
It's probably a little bit more, I think, on there, but
Okay.
we could work to what we. put
yeah, if he
in.
can, just give me that information and I'll have Randy check with the postal company we use.
I guess I would just like to see your activities and everything that's going on at the rec center inserted in. I know we do a little bit
I think that'd be
article on
great.
it,
I think it'd be great.
Yeah,
Probably.
each department does an article
Right.
in the newsletter.
but you have a lot.
Got a few.
And that, okay, I'd just like to have a little price on that,
Okay,
if they don't mind.
yeah, we
Okay.
can get that. Mike, currently that's just posted online.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we.
So we'd have the print cost, and then we'd have the postage cost.
Well, he's already got the print cost. So all they would do is, when they stuff it, is just make that a part of, it could still be two things, you know, just like this, and then this, and they would just insert it, and then tape
Are you
it.
just putting them online, or are you mailing it?
No, we don't mail.
Yeah,
I know that.
okay, all right, okay, all right.
I just wanna combine them,
And see what that cost would be,
Yes.
postage and printing.
yes.
Okay, we can do that. And that would be, so we do two newsletters, so two
Just
of
them.
the four, just those two would be included, and then the others would not be mailed? or-
Right,
Okay,
because we only do two.
okay.
We don't
Yeah,
have
we
the
can
extra
get-
cost.
We can get a price for
I
that.
mean, in the future, I'd like to see four, but we won't approach that now.
Okay, all right, that's great. All right, that's all
As we
the
get
items-
bigger.
That's all the items that I.
Okay.
that
I have a question for Rob.
Yes, ma'am.
Nothing was done about the income tax preparation?
Yeah, the gentleman actually emailed me, I'm trying to think if it was Sunday or Monday, and said that he failed to call me the week of the 10th, like he had said, and that he was going to get in touch with me for planning for next year's taxes. When I contacted him, I meant this year, other than getting that email to say he was still gonna call me, I have not received a call back yet. So we did offer this room, I got with Advanced Auto, they said we could use their parking lot for staff vehicles, and so that we would have all of our spaces open and available, so we were ready if they decided they wanted to use the facility. But we just haven't gotten that, I was hoping he was gonna come and do a site visit, and then we would see if there was anything else we needed to accommodate him, but still waiting to hear back from him.
Something should have been done way earlier anyway for this year.
Yeah, so we'll definitely have it programmed for next year. I'm gonna offer it for this year if they're able and wanna come here. You know, we wanna make it available. With all the construction we have right now, I'm sort of glad that we're not using this building, because tracked vehicles and dump trucks are going in front of here nonstop with the water line project, so. Okay, thank you,
Thanks, Ron.
thank you.
Anybody with old business?
What's the latest on like Broad Street and 270 putting in lights, and you never hear any more about that?
Actually, we just talked about
Yeah,
that today.
we just talked about it at the CIC meeting today. What happened with that project in September, we had the packet ready to go to bid. We got the approval from ODOT to go ahead that we would be able to do the project in the right of way. Then we got you can do the project, everything but the sculpture component. One of our partners really wanted the sculptures and wanted to see if we could get that through ODOT. My recommendation was that we just go ahead and bid the project with the foundations for the sculptures as an alternate, because we weren't sure, depending on the cost, whether we wanted to do that in-house or do it with the contractor. So we are gonna go ahead and bid that very soon, and we're gonna do that as an alternate in case it would get approved for the sculptures. If it doesn't, then, you know, it's an alternate, we do not have to perform it, but that will be happening, and hopefully it'll be first quarter, but what I understand from some of the wildflower plantings, they cannot be done until the fall. So that it would be a kind of a two-step phase, and whenever this project does go in, something that with wildflowers, some of them, it takes their second or third year of maturity before they bloom. So we'll get the calls, why do you have weeds in this beautiful circle? Well, really, they're wildflowers, they just haven't got to maturity where they can actually bloom. So that'll be something that you'll already be ready for as far as a response. But that's the status of it. It was ready to go in September, and you know, there's multiple partners on the project that kind of were holding out to see if we could get the sculptures approved. We weren't able to get them approved, and we still haven't got a response. And I understand ODOT's concern. The sculptures are metal with a concrete base. The concern is twofold. One, if a vehicle would leave the roadway and hit one, and two, if there's such nice sculptures, they become an attractive nuisance because people want to get their pictures taken with them, and now they're in an interchange. So I think ODOT has a legitimate concern, but, you know, it was part of the project, and you know, we're hoping to get it approved as a whole. So, but that will be happening this year, so.
Yeah, I was on the website today and I thought, oh, I haven't heard about this project for a while.
And did you guys, I know I was there, but did you guys talk about the light? Are they still gonna do the lights? Okay.
Yes, the lights would be another phase.
Okay.
Yeah, what the project is it's turf and then the plantings within the, what do they call the circle in the interchange in that area, so that's in that. And then it would be, concrete underneath the highway, so when you go under it. The lights would be another component, but we'll have to look at the budget if, without doing the sculptures, that'll make the lights available that much sooner, so. But that is part of the overall, concept is the lighting. But it's the shoring that up with concrete underneath is what's, on the current schedule.
Any new business?
Yes.
Gotcha.
I do believe it was around September, the township put in a new phone system.
Yes.
I would like to see if you could check with Joe and IT to see if the system is compatible or capable for the new federal law called Carries Law. That is where you can dial 911 without dialing 9 if a system requires it. I do believe it has to be in place by February of next year. But the federal regulation was just approved and is being rolled out.
All right, I will pass this one to Joe.
Thank you, Jim. Public comments? Announcement?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Ben Babcock. I'm from Heartland Bank. I'm our Senior Vice President and Public Funds Officer at Heartland. And
Can I get your last name?
sure, Babcock, B-A-B-C-A-N-E-C. And I'm just here today to let it be known that Heartland Bank is in the public fund space and that we find that we do a really good job partnering with other townships in Franklin County. We have Truro Township and Jackson Township that we do business with already. And we're finding a lot of local townships have a need to be served and that they don't look to community banks necessarily to be able to handle their banking needs. And so I just wanted to let the township trustees know that Heartland Bank is willing and able to do so. And being a community bank located here in Franklin County is that when you deposit with us, these dollars stay right in our community and are getting lent out to businesses and neighbors right here in your township. And so I think that's one of many advantages along with the service level that Heartland Bank could provide to just give us consideration for any depository needs, savings accounts, mini excavators, whatever it may be, is that you're a phone call away and that we can help you. And in addition to that, we have a couple of team members here from our Wilson Road branch that can help you. So in a lot of institutions, you gotta talk to the government funding person, the public funds officer. Yeah, I'd love to talk to every single one of you, and I do. It's just our branch, they could also serve. So we have multiple team members that are able to help people when there's a need to be taken care of. So thank you for your time today. Just wanted to get that out. I think we're partnering with you guys with the farmers market this year. Really excited to do so. And we look forward to trying to grow our relationship with Prairie Township. Thank you.
Thank you. Does Rob have your card and anything that you can provide me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. Any announcements? We already said that. Okay. Meeting adjourned. What time is it, 7:39?